Well, my prediction from yesterday ended up coming true as the Big in Japan sale is live right now. Yes, they didn't even wait until Tokyo Game Show, but a lot of great deals are available as a part of this sale. Just looking off the top, seeing a lot of good stuff being discounted, so let's get right into it. You've got Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 for $9. You've got Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. That's the Final Fantasy VII Remake upgrade, as well as the Intergrade Intermission expansion. $49.69, which is pretty decent given that it did release at $70. Nier Replicant is 35% off for $39. Really enjoyed my time with this game. However, Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition is also on sale, 50% off for $19.99. Both games are really good. Nier Automata, generally speaking, is the better game. Gameplay is better, being it's a Platinum Games title. I would recommend to play both of them. They are both excellent from a narrative and a soundtrack standpoint. They are excellent in that regard. Nier Automata has stronger gameplay, of course, but both games are really good. You can also pick up Final Fantasy VII Remake, the base game, for $30. That's not a bad buy because that is a free upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version. If you have the Plus version, that is not a free upgrade. Naruto Storm 4 Road to Boruto is $12.49. I wouldn't get that just because the Storm Legacy Collection is like $14 at times, so I would say pass on that. Scarlet Nexus, 40% off for $36. Really enjoyed this game. I know it's getting some DLC soon, or maybe it just came out, but I beat it both playthroughs, played it first as Yuito, then Kasane. It's definitely worthwhile to go through the game both times, and you really get the entire experience that way, because there is a point where it diverges quite a bit, and you do want to get both playthroughs in, so you can piece the story together and understand all the characters. Game is really good, soundtrack is great, battle system is really good. The only negative I can say is the fact that a lot of the story is told through a visual novel style presentation, like late on the cutscenes. There are some cutscenes of some of the bigger moments, but for the most part you have this visual novel style presentation to move the story forward. Dialogue is pretty good, and the story itself is really good. Just expect a lot of dialogue, and you know, I think that's a good thing for a JRPG. Neo The World Ends With You is 30% off for $42. This just came out, so to see it get a discount is quite nice. The game itself, I think, is really good. Music is obviously tremendous, just like the original World Ends With You. Neo The World Ends With You builds upon that. Relatively lengthy game as well. $42 is a little steep, given that, you know, that's still pretty close to full price, but given that it is only 2 months old at this point, I would still say that's a pretty good pickup. If you've been eyeing it for a while, I would say go ahead and check that out. Persona 5 Royale is 60% off for $24. Obviously excellent. Many consider that to be the best JRPG of all time. Don't know if I would go that far, but it's definitely among the upper echelon of all JRPGs that has ever been released. A ton of content in that game as well, especially with the Royal extension. You're getting, you know, north of 100 hours of gameplay easy. I think most people spent north of 100 hours in the original Persona 5. Royale is going to make it an even deeper experience. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, 25% off for $29.99. That is, of course, Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. I know a lot of people were not a big fan of the Sigma variants of the game, but the games are still quite good, and to get all three for $30, I think, is a pretty good pickup. Relatively challenging games as well, so bear that in mind. Street Fighter V Champion Edition, $19.49. That's okay. DQ11 S Echoes of an Elusive Age, the Definitive Edition. That is 35% off for $26. Not a bad deal there. DQ11 is very much a traditional JRPG, so yeah, if you want something like that, go ahead and check it out. Persona 5 Strikers is 35% off for $39, 40% off if you're a Plus subscriber. I believe that would take it down to $36. A very good game. If you play Persona 5 and you want to get more invested into the world, Persona 5 Strikers is not a bad pickup at all. I know a lot of you guys are not a big fan of the Musou style games, however, this game has the Persona flair in the presentation that kind of overrides the fact that it is a Musou game, and some people like Musou games. There's nothing wrong with that. I just know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but the game is so slick, so stylish, music is so good. I think for $36 it is a good pickup. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, 70% off for $17.99. Okay deal. I enjoyed DBZ Kakarot, and I'm not the biggest DBZ guy in the world. You know, if you assess it fundamentally as an open world RPG, it's not the best RPG in the world. It's very mediocre in that regards. However, the Dragon Ball flair, like seeing all some of the iconic moments recreated in an open world RPG, that's pretty cool. Like, the side content ain't anything to write home about, but if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you want to go through the main story again, $18 for that I think is actually pretty decent. Monster Hunter World Iceborne Digital Deluxe is $26.79. Yakuza Like a Dragon, $36. Really good deal for Yakuza Like a Dragon, a game that's going to be one that keeps you busy for quite a while, so go and check that out if you're looking for a turn-based Yakuza title. Very much different than the first 6 games, or first 7 if you include Yakuza 0, but Still a pretty good game. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is 60% off as a Plus subscriber. $24. I believe this is a new low for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim on the PlayStation Store. Very good game by Vanillaware. Very much focused on the story, and the story is exceptional. Art style is obviously great. Gameplay is pretty interesting. $24 for that, excuse me, is a pretty good buy. Go check that out. What else we got? The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4, 35% off for $39. I mean, if you played the first three, what are you waiting for to play Cold Steel 4? Go ahead and grab it. Obviously, a gargantuan JRPG franchise with a lot of narrative paths and a lot of points to connect. I do know the other Legend of Heroes games are getting localized, which is great to hear because now we have an easy and accessible way to play those games. Final Fantasy XIV Online Complete Edition, 60% off for $24. Excellent deal. Obviously, Endwalker is coming out soon, so that is something to note. That is going to extend the experience quite a bit, but the FF14 experience already is quite good, and the Complete Edition for $24 is a good buy. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remastered, $12.49. Final Fantasy X has definitely shown its age a little bit. Stiff animations, voice acting is not the greatest, but overall, it is still an excellent JRPG in my opinion. Obviously, a great story. You know, music is pretty solid. That battle theme is still something I listen to quite a bit, and I have some nostalgic memories with Final Fantasy X, so obviously I'm going to be a little bit more partial towards it, but overall I thought it was a fairly good JRPG. What else we got? A bunch of Naruto Shinobi Striker DLC. My god, they released a lot of DLC for that game. Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age is 50% off for $24.99. Really liked Final Fantasy XII. I say the same thing over and over again, but one of the worst main characters in a Final Fantasy game, and Vaughn, honestly, he is just not very likable. You could even make an argument whether or not he's the main character or whether it's really Ash or even Botch. I mean, those are the characters that really take center stage in Final Fantasy XII, especially Ash. Ash is a great character, and a lot of the other characters in FF12 are really good. I was just not a big fan of Vaughn and probably Penelope, but yeah, the rest of the characters are quite good. And $25 for it, it's a game with a lot of content. Like, if you want to do everything in FF12, you are going to be there for a very, very long time, so pack a lunch, brother, because that's a lengthy game, and gameplay is very reminiscent of an MMO. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, 60% off for $15.99. Pretty good deal. I would play the first two Danganronpas first and then jump into Danganronpa 3. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown Digital Deluxe Edition. This is $16.99. Pretty good deal on that. Hey, look at this. We have Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1 on sale as well. 50% off for $19.99. It's hard to get Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 to go on sale, but this is a great buy. Guys, go pick this up. It's a JRPG I've been talking about for a very long time. Get started with Trails of Cold Steel. I know some people have their qualms about which order you should play this series, but given that, you know, so much of the franchise is hard to access at this point, if you want to just start playing Trails of Cold Steel, I know some people think that's going to be blasphemy for me to even say that, just because you gotta play them in order, bro. And yeah, I get that. I get what you guys are saying, but just from the standpoint of, yo, Trails of Cold Steel is here. It's 50% off for $19.99. By the time the other games come out, maybe you'll just forget about those games and you can revisit them in order if you want. And I played Trails of Cold Steel first, and I still had a very, very enjoyable time with the entire experience of Trails of Cold Steel. Highly recommended, and give that a look. I think you guys are going to enjoy that quite a bit. Again, that's $20 for Trails of Cold Steel, and you know, if you take your time, that game can be well over 100 hours. I mean, you can complete it quicker, but yeah, great deal. And look at this, Trails of Cold Steel 2 is also on sale, 50% off for $19.99. Builds off of Trails of Cold Steel 1. What I like about Trails of Cold Steel 2 is Trails of Cold Steel 1 is a lot of setting the table, building the foundation. Trails of Cold Steel 2, they just throw you right into the thick of things, and the story is gangbusters right from the beginning. So yeah, definitely check out Cold Steel 2 as well if you already played Cold Steel 1. They're great games, but I would play them, at least if you start with Trails of Cold Steel, obviously play the Cold Steel games sequentially at that point. That'll help you out. Trials of Mana, 50% off for $24.99. Pretty good deal there. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is also on sale, 50% off for $29.99. Gravity Rush 2, 50% off for $9.99. Excellent game. Hopefully, Gravity Rush can build that cult following that some games have in recent memory and eventually see a sequel, because it's a shame that that series did not generate more traction, because it's fantastic. Gravity Rush 1 was great, and Gravity Rush 2 is even better. Tales of Zestiria, 85% off for $8.99. That's kind of like the most hated Tales of game. The story kind of has some questionable choices made, and a lot of the characters just don't come across as likable as some of the other Tales of games. Overall, it's still a decent JRPG, so if you just want to play all the Tales of games, I would still check it out. And hey, if nothing else, I think the opening theme is quite good, so take that for what you will. Gravity Rush Remastered is on sale, 50% off for $14.99. Mega Man X Legacy Collection, $9.99. Yeah, there's a ton of deals here, so let's go through a couple more and then we'll call it. Star Ocean, The Last of 4K and Full HD Remaster, 50% off for $10.49. Atrocious voice acting aside, I think the game is pretty good. The story's actually kind of decent. You know, the gameplay's pretty good, and visually it's held up relatively well, considering it came out back in like 2008? 2009, I think, yeah, 2009, February of 09 for the 360, and then it eventually came to other platforms. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, you got a character pass for that. Star Ocean First Departure R, $10.49. Dot Hack GU Last Recode, 84% off for $7.99. Excellent deal. Much like FF10, shows its age a little bit, but very good story here, and a very big cast of characters, and you get all 3 games plus a 4th smaller episode to really round out the story of the game. And again, the story is excellent. Gameplay gets a little bit repetitive, some repetitive dungeons as well, but overall a very, very good set of JRPGs. Hopefully we see Dot Hack back in the near future. I think that's a franchise with more legs to it. Ys Memories of Celceta, 50% off for $14.99. Great deal there. It's Ys. It's always pretty good. Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, 85% off for $8.99. Man, there's a lot of great deals here if you're a fan of JRPGs. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, 80% off for $11.99. I think I'll wrap it up here. Oh, AI the Saminium File, 60% off for $15.99. That's a really good deal. That might be a new low for that game. That's an excellent deal. If you're looking for a narrative-driven mystery title, AI the Saminium Files is a great buy. Go check that out. I see Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th Anniversary Bundle for $19.99. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm going to be here forever if I keep going, because there's 19 pages or 17 pages worth of stuff, and we're on page 7, so a lot of the other stuff is DLC by the looks of it, but we'll give you guys a full rundown and do another video in the near future. Zone of the Enders, the second one, Mars, 75% off for $7.49. Let's give that a shout. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.